So reckless Ben Schneider is going to represent himself in one of the criminal cases in Utah, not one in American Fork. I don't know if he's going to come pro se in that case either. I asked a handful of attorneys, and the ones who got back to me were universally unwilling to represent themselves in a criminal case, though one did volunteer that it's possible Ben has, I forget his word for it, but incomplete counsel. Utah has a progressive structure that can allow a pro se litigant to hire an attorney to advise them on some basic strategy or review individual documents without taking over complete representation of the client. So, assuming that that is happening, that would be good. I have no evidence that that is or is not happening. It's just a thing that is permissible under the bar's rules. I want to shift gears into the civil case because there's a couple of interesting things that have happened there. CoffeeZilla, shout out, by the way, because Steve and I remember when I wrote Coffee Break is his main channel, CoffeeZilla is his smaller second channel a few years ago. And boy, have you grown. Congratulations. But CoffeeZilla uncovered that the amount of Lego in possession by someone who shouldn't have it affiliated with either BAM or the new franchise owners, Brandon Best and Joshua Johnson, was closer to 21,000. And that makes their behavior make a lot more sense because the worst amounts of money to be owed by anyone in a complex case is between 20 and 40,000. It's too large for small claims court, which means you end up in a bigger, more expensive, slower moving court. I have sat in a position as a decision maker at a company where we decided not to pursue damages in those amounts multiple times because the juice wasn't worth the squeeze and because the time it was going to take would allow a company that was, let's say, a mom and pop shop without a ton of assets or a startup to just stop existing before we were ever able to collect, leaving us with a $70,000 legal bill in order to have not collected $25,000. I want to add to this both Eamon McNeff, the CEO of Bricks and Minifigs, BAM Franchise Inc., and Josh Johnson seem to be non-lawyers who have worked in pseudo-legal capacities. And that is also part of what's going on here. At a $200,000 dispute, most people hire an attorney. At a $20,000 dispute, people with advanced legal knowledge, and this includes me, often think, I don't need the attorney, I kind of know my way around this. And the problem is you can end up locking into a bad fact pattern. Just because I can, in many cases, explain things about the bar's rules for solicitation because I've handled marketing for law firms that the partner at a law firm does not know because they have no reason to, does not make me a lawyer. And that's something I have to remind myself of quite frequently when I choose to seek legal advice. I don't think that that same voice that reminds you you're not a lawyer exists for either Eamon McNeff or Josh Johnson.